One Local 6 investigates now from skimpy clothing to grinding on the dance floor. All of this was at a club that was marketed to high school kids.
After a parent complained to us, we went undercover. And tonight, our I-Team investigation is getting results. Carla Castano is here now with a follow-up to this story. Carla?
Well, the dances were being pushed all over social media, and promoters, well, they didn't hide the fact that kids as young as 14 years old were allowed inside. Our undercover cameras caught behaviors that raised serious concern, and now we're back on the case. In the dark, with the music blaring, it didn't take long for our undercover cameras to see everything from racy touching to grinding on the dance floor and on couches. These clearly weren't the high school dances most parents think of.
Everyone is like all over each other.
This dad, Michael Murrow, looked up the dances online after his daughter sounded an alarm. He was furious to see photos of girls in bras, panties, and lingerie shot by an event photographer and posted on Moonlight Events' Facebook page.
I mean, you've got 13, 14, 15-year-old kids, and they're being treated and dressed like exotic dancers, and they're pushing these sexual acts and trying to get it on pictures and everything else, and it seems to be okay with the people here.
With an undercover camera, we bought tickets and went inside. The flyer clearly stated the dance was for anyone high school and up. All the kids we met were from 14 to 16 years old from the Salem and Portland areas. We're blurring the images to protect the minors. Here, a boy grabs his dance partner's breasts. Later, we see two girls making out on the ground. As we start to approach, one crawls off on her hands and knees. Then the girls, both barefoot in a backbend position, start dancing upside down. A 15-year-old who says she went to another Moonlight Events dance claims she was offered drugs by other teens.
They just walk up to you and they're like, hey, you want this?
She says the kids were unchaperoned the entire dance. During the 4 hours we were there, we found no visible security or supervision inside. Could you see a lot of people that seemed like they were on like Molly and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Molly is what teens call ecstasy. After talking to this girl for a few minutes, I say, I just moved here. Do you know where I can get a Molly? She says, yeah, I'll go get one from my friend right now. To avoid any illegal activity, I then say, oh no, you know what? It's cool, but thank you. After that visit, we asked the Moonlight Events owner, who goes by Dave Luna, to do an interview with us. He would only agree to a phone conversation and didn't want it recorded. Luna told us security at the door checked for drugs and weapons, and then anyone caught selling drugs was kicked out. He also said safety is his top priority. But since our investigation into Moonlight Events, a lot has changed.
And let him know that we had heard about the story and that we needed, we had to do what we needed to do, which was stop it.
This man, who doesn't want to be identified, now owns the building that Moonlight Events operated from in Marion County. He says he was helping Luna financially, but then our initial investigation hit the air.
And that's when we heard the story and we said, no more, we're done. And it's done.
Today, the building sits empty with a for sale sign out front. And that's not all that's changed. Moonlight Events' Facebook page for high school dances is also gone, replaced with a new one promoting adult music and comedy shows around the country.
This is news to me.
For that concerned dad, Michael Murrow, who tipped us off to these dances, all this comes as a big shock. After seeing it for himself, he feels his kids and thousands more are a lot safer.
Yeah, it makes me feel great, actually. It's a wonderful feeling, and I thank you guys so much for your help. It's nice to see that somebody cares.
As for Dave Luna, he appears to be traveling the country promoting other acts now. We did reach him by email. He told me, quote, I have done a lot of work to improve things. Thank you for noticing. Well, we'll stay on top of this story and let you know if the club resurfaces in our area. Jeff and Kelly, back to you.
Great investigation, Carla. Thank you. And at Coin Local 6, we investigate the stories that matter to you. So if you have a story that we should dig into, email us news@coin.com.